Hi there, Ocean Robbins here, CEO of the Food Revolution Network and co-host of the Food Revolution Summit. In our last video, we brought you a TEDx presentation from Robin O'Brien. It literally blew the cover on the food allergy epidemic, and it exposed how food industry practices are threatening a whole generation of kids. If you haven't seen it or all our other pre-summit videos yet, I'd like to invite you to click on the tabs at the top of this page so that you can watch them in order. Our goal in these videos is to whet your appetite and to give you the insights that you need to get the most that you possibly can out of the Food Revolution Summit. Today, I'd like to bring you another piece that is going to knock your socks off. This one's short and it's powerful. Every year, there are more than 6,000 new articles published in scientific journals. Food Revolution Summit speaker Dr. Michael Greger has taken on the mission to sift through all the data, pick out the most groundbreaking and practical findings, translate it into a user-friendly form, and then get it out to the public. Along the way, Dr. Greger also takes a look at not just what the studies tell us, but also at who funds them. It turns out that the food and beverage industry spends billions of dollars every year contributing to the public's confusion about basic, accepted principles of nutrition. Sometimes they do that through ads, which is reasonably transparent. But Dr. Greger's research finds that they also do it through funding the very studies that we should be able to look to for nutritional guidance. When you take in the implications of what he exposes, it's enough to make your blood boil. But it's also critically important to know what's going on so that you can get the truth that you and your loved ones deserve. Dr. Greger, take it away.
When food companies claim there is science to support their wild claims, it may very well be true. Multi-billion-dollar industries have the cash to spread around to research establishments. The funding effect describes the uncanny correlation between the conclusion desired by a funding source and the conclusion reached by the researchers being funded. The funding effect and the strategy of manufacturing uncertainty has been used with great success by manufacturers of dangerous products to oppose public health regulation. To resist regulation, industries fund scientific reviews to downplay the risks of their products. Tobacco is the classic case, but producers have funded studies downplaying the risks of asbestos, benzene, lead, etc. This has been studied extensively in the pharmaceutical industry. Drug company-funded studies just happen to be about 4 times more likely to reach a pro-industry conclusion than independent studies. But in contrast, little information is available regarding the prevalence or impact of funding by the food industry on nutrition research. Whereas bias in pharmaceutical research could have an adverse effect on the health of millions of individuals who take medications, bias in nutrition research could have an adverse effect on the health of everyone. So they looked at soda and milk. Are studies funded by Coca-Cola or the Dairy Council more likely to reach favorable conclusions about their sponsors' products? Turns out, even worse than the drug companies. The main finding of this study is that scientific articles about commonly consumed beverages funded entirely by industry were approximately 4 to 8 times more likely to be favorable to the financial interests of the sponsors than articles without industry-related funding. Of particular interest, check this out, none of the interventional studies on soda or milk with all industry support had an unfavorable conclusion. Not one.
I am so grateful to Dr. Greger for his important work to expose how the soda and the dairy industries are financing studies that are designed to confuse the public so that they can sell more of their products. I'm also grateful that Dr. Greger has taken on the mission of cutting through the BS to give us the truth that we deserve. The fact is that there are some basic nutrition principles that are solidly proven, that are totally documented, but most people still aren't aware of the power of nutrition to improve their lives. I cannot wait to hear my dad interview Dr. Greger for the Food Revolution Summit. You're going to get his top insights on what the science really says and on how you can prevent or even reverse many of the major killers of our times. This is not information that you're going to get on the nightly news. After all, major funding for most of our news outlets comes directly from the junk food industry. It's also not information you'd likely get if you went to medical school. That's because out of every single medical school in the United States, less than a third have a single required course in nutrition. But it is information that you and your loved ones deserve. And it's information that you're going to get in the Food Revolution Summit. So make sure to join us for the entire summit. If you can tune in live, you're going to get the opportunity to hear my top takeaways, to ask questions, to engage with fellow summit participants, and to take advantage of some very cool prizes. And if you can't join in the live broadcasts, then you can catch every presentation on 24-hour replay. And if you want to own it all, anytime or any place that you like, for the rest of your life, and to have the transcripts and more than $1,600 worth of bonuses, then be sure to pick up an empowerment package before the sale price ends. This entire Food Revolution Summit is about helping you to have the knowledge that you need from experts that you can trust about some of the most critically important issues of our times. I cannot wait to share in the journey with you. I promise you that it's going to be galvanizing, infuriating, inspiring, informative, and empowering. Safe eating.